Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mampolo from Mampolo's Corner. Renee, your mindset. Guys, there's a video I want to play here. This guy want to talk here. Whether I'm a barrister, they call him, maybe a lawyer. Kai. This guy finished Tinubu. I come to ask him, you and Tinubu, on the quarter before? Nigerian people, the way what they take. I think Tinubu is going to be the most popular president in the world ever recorded. Let me tell you. You see this problem going. You see the problem is that not started though. This is now 30% we are now. We are still waiting for Chicago State University to come and answer some discrepancy in court today. They are dealing with it now. We are waiting for that. I'm going to report that tomorrow. But this guy, I'm going to show you now. This guy, yeah. This guy speak facts. This guy he speaks sense. The guy spoke. I don't want to use past tense because he's going to speak now. The guy speaks sense. Are you normal? Are you normal? For those who think I'm making it up now, right now, watch this video.
Well, social media was awash on Independence Day with reactions trailing the order by a United States District Court directing the Chicago State University to release the credentials of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Nigeria's former Vice President Atiku Abubakar no later than today, October the 2nd. Justice Nancy Maldonado of the U.S. District Court dismissed Tinubu's objection to the September 20th decision of the magistrate judge, Jeffrey Gilbert, insisting that Atiku had the right of access to the records. Yes. She directed Chicago State University to produce all relevant and non-privileged documents while cautioning President Tinubu that any request for a stay before the court would be denied. Atiku had asked for the documents for use in Nigerian courts to support his argument that Tinubu forged a diploma certificate he claimed to have obtained from CSU in 1979 and submitted it to INEC for the 2023 presidential election.
You mean
Joining us now is Barrister Kalu Kalu, and he'll be discussing the import of the U.S. court ruling in Atiku's suit seeking access to Tinubu's Chicago State University academic records on the outcome of the 2023 presidential election. Welcome to Rise News. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much, Barrister Kalu. Now, I would just like to know, start from the basics, how important is this decision by the U.S. court ruling in Atiku's suit, especially in favor of the PDP presidential candidate?
Very, very crucial. Let's lay a foundation before we go into the main discussion. And that foundation is looking at the grand norm of Nigeria, which is the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered by Section 1.1 of the Constitution. It provides thus that this Constitution is supreme, and its provisions binding on all authorities and persons throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria. By sub 2, it says that the Federal Republic of Nigeria shall not be governed or shall any person or group of persons govern the Federal Republic of Nigeria except in accordance with the provisions of this Constitution. Now, by Section 137, 1J of the state constitution, that a person shall not be qualified for the office of president if he has presented a forged certificate
Jesus.
to INEC. And by what we got from the INEC,
Yes.
certified through copy, Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented a purported certificate he obtained from Chicago State
University.
in 1979. And there has been a lot of controversies surrounding whether the certificate is genuine or not.
Or not.
And Atiku Abubakar approached the U.S. court and the U.S. for discovery on whether that certificate Tinubu submitted to INEC is genuine or not. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu, by his own application, urged the courts in U.S. to be joined in that matter for discovery by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. The court granted his application. He was joined as an intervenor. To me, he was an interloper in that matter. But let's leave that one aside and focus on the main issue.
That's right.
The summary is today, the U.S. court has directed the Chicago State University to release
How releasable?
all documents concerning Bola Ahmed Tinubu to Atiku.
Okay, Barrister Kalu Kalu, thank you so much for setting the scene in such a great detail. Bayo Onanuga has, according to Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu's lawyer has said that this information is no longer useful. According to the law and according to the Constitution, is this reveal and this grant, the access that we've been given to these records, is it still useful or is it just for the purposes, is it just conversational at this stage?
It's just what Nigerians have been witnessing all this while. Impunity by our leaders.
Yes.
How can a Nigerian, knowing the international disgrace
Oh dear.
this has caused Nigerians, come out to whittle down the effect of this ruling?
I like this guy talk.
If it is no longer useful, why was his principal, Tinubu, fighting the release of this document from Chicago State University?
To stop it.
There wouldn't have been any need to spend the resources
Our money.
that would have been useful to us in Nigeria, the time, the disgrace all over the world,
Sorry.
if it is not necessary. Let me tell Nigerians and the world that I laid this foundation, that this constitution is supreme and its provisions binding on all parties, all persons and authorities. Tinubu, having presented 4 certificates to INEC,
Jesus.
Ab initio was not qualified to run the election. And all he needs to do now, that it is now established beyond reasonable doubt
Jesus.
that the document he submitted to INEC was forged,
You mean
is to vacate the office of the presidency and hand over to the run-up of the election, which is Atiku Abubakar.
Barrister Kalu, of course, we know that this that hasn't been established at this time. Please, let's just be.
It has been established.
Okay,
it has been established.
Well, I'm just wondering.
If you have been following, hold on.
No, please give me one moment, please. Okay, so let's because we do have a limited time with you, and we do also need to be careful of what we state here.
No, I need to. I made an assertion. Okay. I need to not clarify the issue of whether it has been established or not.
Please, let's move on to another aspect. Please, let's do that. I'm asking you. Thank you so much.
Let me clear this issue.
Yes.
This issue is germane. Let me clear this issue.
We can't move on.
Let me clear this issue as to the establishment that the certificate Tinubu submitted to INEC is forged.
Jesus.
In the proceedings that led to the ruling of Magistrate Gilbert, Tinubu's Chicago State University's lawyer was asked, can you authenticate the certificate Tinubu submitted to INEC?
They said no.
He said on record that the school could not authenticate that certificate.
Jesus.
Which other establishment do you want?
Noted. Thank you for that's your opinion.
Having
Barrister Kalu, please.
Having submitted a first certificate.
Barrister, the judge also warned, as you know, that any attempt by the president to appeal this judgment in the district would no longer be tolerated. But it's also been established that President Tinubu is free to file his appeal directly before the 7th Circuit. And of course, you know, that's an appellate court overseeing Illinois and nearby states. Do you foresee him exploring that option?
No, I don't think so. No, Tinubu will not do it.
As we speak today,
He's a sharp man.
Justice Nancy,
Why won't he expose himself
in her ruling, directed Chicago State University to release the documents concerning Tinubu to Atiku. Latest by 12 noon today.
You don't do them already now.
As we speak, there is no appeal.
No.
As we speak, there is no application for stay
Overruled.
against the school releasing those documents to Atiku.
Overruled.
All Nigerians want to hear and see is the school releasing those documents to Atiku. And the school, in the proceedings, said they were willing and ready.
And they have done it.
To turn in those documents to Atiku.
They have done it.
Now, as you correctly said,
My
of course,
sister,
we're waiting for the release
of
those documents. But let's look at a bigger scope of this conversation. I know ex-aviation minister, that's Osita Chidoka, has said that what this issue raises is a bigger issue, which is that we do need to make sure all of these issues are resolved and ironed out before the swearing in of a president.
Yes.
Do you think that this issue and the way it is being managed will in any way direct us to be able to lean in that direction in future elections?
That is what every Nigerian should canvass after all these legal tussles. That going forward in this country, that there must be a constitutional amendment that before any person is sworn in, all post-election litigations are dispensed with, and the court makes pronouncement as to the real winner of the election. Once there is such amendment, it settles and resolves this issue of whether you won the election or you didn't win the election. But primarily, there's something I want to say, that at the moment, Tinubu should hand over to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as the runner of this election.
We'd like to thank you for your time here on
Thank
Newsday.
you.
Thank you for your insight and your perspective. We
The
appreciate
women
your
don't cut
time.
you
Thank
off.
you.
They don't want me to implicate them. Others are never rugged like Rufai, my man. They leave them or leave them. You not finish, oh. You never finish. Person one finish Tinubu. One of the president on now. Peter Obi, the Ogidigbo, one of Anambra State. If you see what thing use Tinubu do for video here. This one not be the one I post yesterday. This one another new one. I say, Peter Obi, can you an article? Well, can you an article leave Tinubu alone? Make it, let the poor brave. Let the poor breathe. Peter Obi an article. For those one where Peter Obi they lash it out. All right now, watch the video.
We are at a point where we're challenging the process.
Yes.
These are part of what makes a nation. The process through which people come into office or assume or achieve anything is far more fundamental than what they do thereafter.
You don't know why they talk about Baba.
It is important that the people come through the right door
Yes.
and not just jump into the through the window and start saying, okay, let's move on, let's clean it up, let's do this and everything. No. So we're challenging the process.
The process.
And that has to come to a logical end before any other thing.
Yes.
And it has to be something that people will seemingly, that's why I said, we have to begin by doing the right things. And not doing the right things, having the right process. On issue of qualification, I never said anything with regards to improving the degree or doing this. The issue of qualification is the issue of leaders making statements, doing things that are honest and truthful. This is an issue of honor and integrity. It is the foundation on which you build society. If you look at what is happening in Nigeria today, there's so many issues of certificates, age, all sorts of one falsification or the other.
You don't enter
All over within the leaders. There's no way people can be doing this and be able to do the right things, because that means they live in a falsified life. And that is not good morally, and a sign it should be given to the society. There's so many great people in the world who did not go to school. And I can tell you, America today, one of the highest, or I would say the greatest president America has ever had, is Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln did not go to a formal school. In fact, his entire education is less than 1 year, formal education.
Yes.
Because he came from a very extremely poor family. His education was by borrowing books and everything, which he did later. But he was able to show, if you read his history, you show that he came from a very poor home and did not have formal education. He didn't have to say he read the PhD here or he did this one here, and then there's an argument like what we're having all over Nigeria today, which is bringing the credibility
Oh dear.
of our nation into question. If you come to the UK, one of the greatest prime ministers, Winston Churchill.
Yes.
Winston Churchill is known to have had a poor academic record. In fact, his academic record was very bad that his father had to enlist him in the army.
The army.
Even when he went to take an exam to be able to be enlisted into the British
His face over.
military academy, he started 3 times before he could pass. Eventually, he became a prime minister and became a great prime minister.
Yes.
You go to the corporate world, the biggest company we have today in terms of market value is Apple. The founder is a dropout, a school dropout. His history shows that. The second biggest company is Microsoft. At least Apple today is about 2.9
Trillion.
if I'm right, about 2.9 trillion
US dollar.
company. when African GDP is about 2.9. So it's about the same thing as African GDP. The second biggest company is Microsoft, founded by Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a university dropout. It's written there. It's not. There's no question. The fourth richest person in the world, Larry Ellison, is a poor person. The mother had to give up for adoption when he was 9 months.
All right. So that's
So you don't really have to have all the degrees in the world to be great. But you need to be honorable about your past, so we can know who exactly you are and everything. The world are bound by great people who have poor past and no education, and that forms part of their greatness.
I don't tire. It's all right, sir. This country, I don't know where we are itself, let alone knowing where we are going. Now the problem I get. When I hear where Baba they talk saying the certificate and this is how it is, integrity and not integrity. We must think about the process. We must ask questions about the process. Now we still there now since February when they do election. We can't ask questions about the process. One president at office. Now that question would ask how many months now? We never still finish the answers just they come out. It's all right, guys. If you love what I'm doing here, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, even on TikTok. All of my political and love, guys. Peace out.